Right, nearly there. Right. And we're live on Facebook. That was quite quickly and smooth, wasn't it? Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us. Sorry, we're a few minutes late. Well, Connie, you just had a few problems, didn't you? But welcome, Connie Hyde. How are you?
I'm good. I just turned my phone off. My sister's ringing me.
Oh,
I'm really well. Hello, everyone. I hope you're doing all right.
yeah.
Surviving.
And thank you very much for joining us, Connie.
Yes, it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure.
I've been so excited about this because honestly, I just didn't know where to start when it came to questions of the bill. But how we found, well, I know that we've come out of lockdown a bit now, but how did you find lockdown?
Oh, it's a double-edged sword, I think, for most people, isn't it? I mean, I have got so that's not easy for them, I don't think. My saving grace was I don't have a garden, but I have an allotment.
Oh yes,
And
yes.
yeah, and I'm luckily they stayed open, so
Yes.
I could go there every day, and that was my escape. So really great. But I did miss colleagues and work and things, and
Yes.
that's not been easy. And
No, that was
I'm
the
sure
hardest
everyone.
part of it all, I think. Yeah. But like you said, I did enjoy because I have a dog, you see. So I went on long dog walks in these fields for miles. I used to do 2 hours a day. And I enjoyed that part of it. But then you come home and you'd be like, okay, I want to go and see people now, but you can't.
Yeah, no, the dog actually, and they have dog sales have gone through the roof, haven't they? Because I think people have
Yeah.
appreciated that, and hopefully that's all what'll come, and also bird feeders and nature and flowers and all that is
Yeah.
been very popular. So let's hope that continues.
Oh, definitely. Well, I think the pets, I know my dog enjoyed lockdown, having me around a lot of the time and stuff. So she's become quite spoilt now, you see. So
Oh, what sort of dog have you got, Ian?
oh, it's like a cocker spaniel, so she's very
Oh, I've got a
hyperactive.
cocker spaniel as well.
Oh, they're beautiful, aren't they? Mental,
Yes,
but
but
beautiful.
scavengers. Mine's just had pancreatitis because she's been scoffing stuff off the park.
Oh, you're joking. Oh, is she all right now?
Yeah, she's fine. She's fine. But
Oh,
last year it was grass seeds under her armpits,
oh, you're joking. Oh no.
which you've got to watch out because they're long haired, aren't they? Very bad design,
Yes.
one was near her so they sort of burrow in and anyway. So that's the cocker spaniel story
Yeah,
for
well, she's
today.
upstairs looking, but my
So I
friend's
hope
looking at my housemate's looking after the dog because if she came in here, she'd just take over. So
oh,
she really would.
you're welcome.
She's hyper. Well, once again, thank you for joining us. Are you ready for question one? Makes it sound
Yep.
scary, doesn't it? Yes. Well, what I'm going to do
Yeah,
first is
blimey.
I'm going to take you right back to your beginning of your career. They're only quick questions while we lead up to the bill and Corrie and stuff. So, question one is obviously just to take you back to your very early TV career, as I know you'd trained at the London Academy of Music and Dramatic Art for 3 years. Is that right?
That's right,
Yeah.
Lambda. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And according to your IMDb profile, because that is brilliant, it tells you what episodes you're in, etc. Your very first role was as Sheila in the Channel 4 comedy Drop the Dead Donkey back in 1993. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct. That
Yeah.
is correct.
Can you remember anything about
Terrifying,
that?
terrifying first job because it's live audience.
Oh, of course, yes.
So, and also at the time, Drop the Dead Donkey was really quite. They used to watch the news at 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
For the live interview. So my lines, I only had a few lines, but they would change to some sort of political sort of jargon. And so that was their baptism of fire.
Yeah.
But really exciting, yeah, really exciting job to have, first job to have.
Definitely.
Forgotten
Being in
about
front of a
that.
live audience as well. Yeah. Well, we were just talking about this before, because in the following year, you had a substantial role in the BBC drama The Lifeboat, playing Sydney Holly. Is it Holly?
Sydney Holly, yes, that
That's,
was a result because looking back on it, Brendan Gleeson, one
yeah.
of his first jobs.
Oh, wow.
oh, this internet's a bit dodgy.
Yeah, I
Am I
don't know.
frozen?
Sometimes it's mine, sometimes it's yours.
Hang on. No, do you know what? I might even go down in the kitchen. Sorry, guys, this is very unprofessional. Isn't it? I'm going to go down in the kitchen because, yes, that happens sometimes. Yes, so Brendan Gleeson, who did hope, you know, I don't know if people know Brendan Gleeson. His actually his sons are doing very well as well now, doing very well. But that was his first job, and he played the coxswain of the lifeboat. And Carl Johnson as well was in it, who played my boyfriend. Who was so what a job to be working with those two phenomenal actors. And there were, I think there was only about 8 of us on it. It was Linda LaPlante. It was written by Linda LaPlante.
Brilliant writer.
And we spent all day on a lifeboat, and I cannot tell you. So we started work, going down the chute, and we were followed by a boat. So when there was a shout, we were chucked off, and the real heroes went off.
Yeah.
But I cannot tell you the respect I have for the guy I played, because I was the mechanic of the lifeboat. He'd been on the lifeboats for, I think, 20 years. He'd lost both his brothers.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
So it was very emotional, really, because they got £6 a call out. I'm sure it's probably gone up to £8 or something.
Yeah, as it does.
Absolute heroes, and you know, what a privilege. Yeah. You know, it's given me a huge respect for the sea, actually.
Yeah. And that, how long did that go on for? That was a BBC One drama, wasn't it? Was
about 9 months.
Yeah.
In St David's, actually. That's where we filmed it, down in St David's, beautiful on the Pembrokeshire coast in Wales.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So yes, beautiful as well. So really, that I consider, and I lied about, because Linda LaPlante, the joke was really, because I was the only woman on the lifeboat, that you know, Sydney would turn up and all the blokes expecting Sydney to be a man, and I was supposed to turn up on a big Harley Davidson, take off my helmet, and here I am, and Linda LaPlante's husband, I think, Robert LaPlante, was a big motorcyclist, so I think she really liked the fact that it was on a motorbike. And of course, in the audition, I said, "Oh yeah, of course I can ride a motorbike." You know, I was asked, you know, not expecting to get the part, and then got the part, and I went,
"What am I going to do?
What am I going to do?" Yeah, and I thought I'll sort of have lessons, but I rang up a friend of mine when it arrived, and it was a big Harley Davidson. And look, you can't learn to ride a Harley Davidson in 3 months or something. You know, it'll break your leg. So I had to ring up. I think I was about 23 or something, and absolutely just completely say, "I lied. I can't.
No.
I can't ride a motorbike." So they actually got me the kit car from The Prisoner.
Oh, really?
So I was supposed to have built the car, the kit car, being a mechanic.
Yeah.
And I had this amazing vehicle that went from 0 to 60 in 3.5 seconds.
Oh, wow.
And lucky to keep the job, really.
Yes. I mean, how did they react when you told them, "Oh, I've lied"? Were they humorous? Did they laugh, or were they a bit
I'm not sure about Linda, because I didn't tell Linda. I'm sure she was a bit annoyed, but the producer kind of went, "Oh," I think he made it, and it was a very funny producer, can't remember his name, but I mean, he really made it, "Oh, so you're telling me you lied at the audition?" And he really went on like this, and I said, "Yes, yeah, I did, yeah."
Because of your enthusiasm, you said, I presume.
Because there's always always an actor who said, "Oh, of course I can horse ride. Of course I can do it. Of course I can do that. I'll learn if I get it," not thinking you get it. So there you go. But I was very lucky that they went, "Okay, we'll change it to a kit car."
Yeah. Oh, that was good. So they accommodated you then after you got the role. So it worked out nicely in the end, didn't it?
Oh, yes. I'll never forget that, working with those two amazing actors.
Oh, yeah. Wow. Well, talking of amazing actors, I'm sure you'll think the same about this one, because I think it was before or after you've done The Lifeboat? It was in 1994. I put a clip up of this last week because I had to bring this one up as it's one of my all-time favourite sitcoms. I write the questions down, so I'm reading now, so you see. Favourite sitcoms, The Vicar of Dibley, playing Ruth in the episode where the Songs of Team come to Dibley to do a feature. So can you remember much about filming that? And can you remember how long for? Did you have much to do with Dawn French, for instance? Because I love Dawn French.
Oh yeah, I mean, what a privilege. In fact, that was one of the directors from Lifeboat.
Oh, really? So
yes,
is that how it came about?
Yes. So he directed Vicar of Dibley. So he asked me if he wanted to do that. Because they didn't have many guests at the time on Vicar of Dibley. They'd only have a couple or something. No. So it was, I was nervous actually.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah, David Waldholm was one of the scenes where he comes and introduces himself, takes off his glasses. The name's David Holton. You know, he obviously took a shine to your character.
Yeah. And Peter Capaldi was my sort of boyfriend. I mean, it's sort of one of those things. I've always in my career done. I always think it's easier to be a regular in a series than it is to go in to do one episode.
Yes. Do you feel like the outsider?
Yeah, because and I was always aware when I was doing a regular in a series of how hard that is for an actor to come in and to literally because when you're doing a series you can, well, hopefully not mess up that much, but there's you can make it up later on, whereas you've got to hit the ground running if you come in, especially if you're coming in for 2 or 3 lines in something. And everybody knows everyone, but I always say to actors like that, everybody's done it. We've all been there.
The new people,
2 or 3 lines, and most actors are lovely people and appreciate that when you come in and have empathy for that.
I can imagine Dawn French was like that, wasn't she?
Yeah, lovely. Yeah, they were all lovely. But I mean, they were just sort of. It's and Richard Curtis. I remember going out with a big meal with all these people and going, "Oh my God!" You sort of,
wow.
You
started with really good roles. Drop the Dead Donkey, The Lifeboat, which was a good, and then Vicar of Dibley. So what a great start.
Well, I did a lot of lovely theatre actually before that. I did the Royal Court was my first job. So
of course,
the Royal Court, and then I worked with Stephen Burkoff, and I really thought I was going to do more theatre really. And then I got The Lifeboat, and then it sort of went TV wise. But I mean, incredibly privileged in my 20s. I think I really did work a lot.
Yeah, that's great. Well, before that, because more TV roles followed, which I've written down because there's quite a lot, like Yvonne in Chandler & Co., Lady Molly Spindaker in Sharp with Sean Bean, Bev in Ireland, and then came, because I wanted to mention this, Catherine Hayward in the BAFTA-winning legal drama series Wing and a Prayer, which was for Channel 5 in 1999, I believe.
That was the first drama Channel 5 did.
Really? Oh, right, okay.
Yes, and it was quite highbrow. It was written by Matthew Hall, who was a barrister, who does a lot of legal dramas. Now, you'll see his name on the end because he's sort of a very... and they did 2 series of it, and it was absolutely brilliant. But I don't know where... At the time, Channel 5 didn't really know where they were going with things.
No, and I don't think a lot of us could even get Channel 5 in certain areas as well. We couldn't get it. I got it. We had Channel 5 when we had Sky.
No, maybe that as well, because it didn't go further. They only went to 2 series, and it was a shame because it was a really classy legal series, really brilliantly written and great cast. So, So I think it's their first drama. So
Well, because talking of drama, because Cathy Bradford wasn't the first police officer you played, as in 1999. You had a very busy year in 1999. You appeared in a few episodes of The Dark Room as DS Susie Blake, and then as DS Janet Miller in the BBC drama City Central. Is that right?
which was again brilliant. I mean, I say brilliant, but I had a great time because I had the honour of working again with the great actor George Costigan.
Oh yes, yes. I know it's Rita
Yeah.
Sue and Bob and other things, of course, but Rita.
Oh, absolutely incredible. So and that's when the BBC had money. I mean, they do it a little bit now, but we were sent to work with the CID, me and George, because we were sort of a two team, and we were sent to work with the CID in Manchester for 2 weeks as research.
Yeah.
So that was incredible. Imagine that, you know, amazing privilege. And that was I think that was 2 series as well. I did of that. I can't remember. But that was again brilliant scripts, great directors. Ken Horn produced it, who's just done not the Line of Duty. Yeah, the Line of Duty.
Line of Duty.
So he's producer of that. So great team, amazing. So it wasn't. I seem to have a run of playing lawyers, doctors, and prostitutes in my 20s.
And then police officers.
Lawyers, police officers, and prostitutes. Yes, it was at one of the three.
Okay.
All professional women.
All professional women and strong women as well, I think.
Yeah.
As well. Even Vicar of Dibley was a strong woman. But, you know, you were the camera, you know, you were very firm with David when he said, oh, you wanted the camera coat, and you turned around and said, I am the cameraman. And he didn't expect that, did he? Because he was quite sexist, you see, and old-fashioned.
I was absolutely, when I look back at that, and it's probably been one of the most shown things, I was terrified. I can see my face, I'm terrified.
Oh, really? I can't see that. I think you did really well, but
I was so nervous. I was so nervous. Yeah.
Well, this is actually about the bill now, because prior to you joining the bill as Cathy, you played Laura in an episode of Daziel and Pascoe, but on the subject of the bill, prior to playing Cathy Bradford, you'd actually played 2 entirely different characters in a few episodes, and one was around 1995, and I found the one in 1999. I think you were the bank manager, another authoritative role. Can you remember that? Helen, I think.
No, I can't remember that. I can remember I played a prostitute.
Oh, was that in the 1995 episode? Yeah. Oh, you're joking, because I was trying to find that and I couldn't find it online.
Yeah, I was a prostitute. I can't remember the bank manager, no.
No,
not at all.
On that year, just before we go on to the bill, that year, 1999, did you see the Renault advert I put on Twitter yesterday, the big advert? Because you look very glamorous.
Very glamorous. That was very glamorous. And I've only done 2 adverts. I did once did a hair commercial as well, and I was very sort of chuffed about that. Yeah. And anyway, I quick story, because I said to the director, because when I went for the audition for the hair commercial, I said, they were all modelly people, you know, and you don't usually go up for stuff with modelly people. And I sort of mistakenly said to the director after, I said, I'm very surprised to get that, really, because, you know, they're all models, you know. And he said, did you see the breakdown? And the breakdown was they'd done all this research, market research, ordinary looking person, big nose. So anyway, this the whole list. I thought, I wish I'd never bloody asked.
Yeah, what a compliment. I mean, it's like a backhanded compliment, that. It's like you get the work, but then you read the description. Oh, so how did you feel when you saw that? Were you a bit deflated?
Well, I wish, never ask, basically.
Oh, really?
Because before that, I was thinking, obviously, just got it over the models, you know. Never ask.
You look like a model.
Why you got it?
Classic car advert. I think you look like a movie star, which I suppose you were meant to, weren't you?
A lot of makeup.
Yeah, that was cool, that. Okay. Right, well, now we're on to the bill. Okay, because I have to say, when Cathy Bradford arrived at Sunhill with a bang in 2002, I thought, interesting, what's going on there? Because there was immediately an air of mystery about her. But something I read the other day when I was researching for this interview, which I really wanted to know if it's true. But the original plan was for Cathy to be just an ambitious officer who eventually would get with PC Nick Klein, played by Renee Zaga, But new producer Paul Marquez, who'd just come in from Brookside, took it in a completely different direction and decided she was going to be unstable and start murdering and wounding people. Is that true?
Yes, absolutely true. Yeah.
Really? Because I just
Yeah.
thought, I can't. Nick Klein and Cathy Bradford. But then I suppose if the character was going a different direction then.
Yeah, and I think that didn't really well, he's amazing. Rennie's a fantastic actor, but I don't think they fit together.
No.
They didn't look, you know. And I think Paul, you'd have to ask him, but Paul had been out to a party or something and heard something about, or had a conversation with someone about Munchausen.
Oh yes, the disease that Cathy had, yes.
And he thought, who can I thought it was fascinating, which it is, and who can I how can I use that? And so Cathy, suffered from Munchausen disease.
And that's why she told us. Well, I got some questions about that as well. So that was quite interesting. I mean, did you enjoy watching your first sequel? You did make me laugh on Twitter the other day because you retweeted it and you put, I look like one of the Bee Gees.
Oh, I love that because I'd completely forgotten about that. And I showed my sons because I love anything, you know, sort of kung fu-y. And they, of course, they look at me as an old fart now.
Oh.
And I go, you know, look, I was doing all like kung fu moves. So I was very chuffed about that because I never would have been able to get that clip. And I'd forgotten about it actually. So, yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, a lot of police officers, when they came in the bill, they were usually introduced briefings or something like this is the new PC. But no, Cathy came in with quite a bang. It was quite an unusual because obviously.
Oh, yeah. Beat someone up, yeah?
Yeah. Well, she was going to do a lot of that as time went on, as we know, don't we? Because, right, this is what we were talking about just before we were on air. Because before we start delving into Cathy Bradford's history, I have a question from a fan of yours who's literally been counting down the days for the interview. And his name's Cole Taylor from Hartlepool. If you just say hello.
Cole!
Yay!
Yay!
He hasn't asked for that, so you probably made his day. You've made his.
Oh, hello, Cole. Yeah, what's Cole want to know?
Well, I'm sure this is quite an obvious question, actually, because I can imagine he wanted to know: was it actually emotionally exhausting playing someone as deranged as Cathy?
I absolutely loved it, Cole.
Yeah,
such a coward. In real life, I run a mile from arguments or anything, any sort of, you know, hassle.
Confrontation and stuff, yeah.
So to be able to slam someone against a wall,
yes,
hit them all around. Oh my God, it was just such fun. I think probably would have to say, yeah, it's probably my favourite role.
Really?
I must, because I used to get scripts and I used to go, oh, I cannot believe what she's doing now.
We were all thinking that. So it was like, what is she going to do next?
Cannot believe what she's going to do now. And it was so extreme. But actually, and we'll probably talk about Corrie as well. If you're playing something like that, though, you need to you do have a responsibility to not be ridiculous, you know, sort of to try and base it in sort of fact. Oh, I got to smash up the bathroom once with this big, you know, with my I can't remember what it was called, but we used to have these sort of things on the side of it. It used to be like a long pole thing, and it was I can't remember what they're called that the police have. Anyway, asps. They're asps. Yes. Well done, Ian.
Yes. I can remember you bashing somebody with the.
Brilliant! And I got to smash up all the mirrors, smash up the toilets. I mean, when do you get to do that?
Yeah, and I mean, oh God, it was a terrific character, and it was such a great role, and I can imagine it must have been like a dream for yourself as an actress.
Oh, yeah, I used to be tired, but I mean, my God, you got some aggression out.
Yeah, well, she certainly did. I mean, Cathy, she was quite aggressive from the start, I thought. Anyway, some of it, I've just got to say before we move on to these questions though, but it's quite ironic that she fell in love with Brandon, because some of her views, when I was watching these episodes, because I've watched them all recently, some of her views were slightly right wing. I was thinking, oh, imagine if she said that on Twitter. There'd be an
Yeah, no, she was. Yeah.
And she was
So
disgusted with Brandon's wife being a lesbian. She called it perverted, and so she's quite bigoted in a way, wasn't she?
Yeah, she was. Yeah.
Okay, well, just to talk about your early episodes before Cathy became obsessed with Brandon, as for instance, in your first episode, you were paired with Reg Hollis, played by Jeff Stewart, who's most definitely a stalwart of the bill. So I just wondered how it was working with Reggie Baby, Jeff Stewart.
Was I paired with him? I can't remember.
Oh, it was your very first episode. They paired you off together.
Oh yes, no, not physically. You're right. Okay, not fun.
Yeah. Oh, paired off as in like working together. Sorry.
Yes. Oh my God. Well, he's brilliant, isn't he, Reg? I mean, he's absolutely. And I think the police force. I remember people saying that there's always a Reg in the force.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I hope there's not a Cathy in every force.
Oh, yeah. So I remember the police saying there's always a Graham Cole in the police. So they absolutely nailed those characters, I think. And Jeff did. Yes, he was very clever, very very laid, sitting back on it and things like that. So great privilege to work with him to begin with, and.
Because they moved you around quite a bit at first. You were working with like Paul Usher and then Trudy Goodwin and Mark Wingett and stuff in your early episode. In fact, there was one early episode that I couldn't find. I'm sure Cathy went pole dancing at one point undercover. Can you remember that? And I thought that's a very early episode, and I imagine that must have been quite nerve-wracking for you.
I remember that, Ian. It was absolutely excruciating
because
I was supposed to go undercover and supposed to be very good at it.
Yes.
And I thought myself to be quite fit and athletic. And we went to do some research at the lap dancing club at Tottenham Court Road. And I had this one to try and teach me. Anyway, we had to do a comedy version because I was so rubbish. And we had to do it. Yeah, literally me swinging around, trying my best. But I thought I could have. Oh my God, those women are strong. Really? It's not something you can blag. It's not something you can just pick up. So I just ended up, and I remember we had to go again because the cameraman was laughing so much. The camera was going like this. Yeah. As I was swinging around the thing because I was so rubbish and looking terrified as well.
Well, I do remember, I thought you pulled that off really well because you looked like you were trying to play that you were terrified, but you were trying to pretend not to be because obviously you were undercover. Do you get what I mean? So so I thought, Cathy, I suppose
I'll take that.
Police officer, she could have been a lap dancer.
I'll take that. Yeah.
Yeah. I thought it was quite convincing.
Yeah. But Trudy, I love, and Lisa. Lisa. And Moya Brady. I mean, the three women. Trudy, so everyone called her the Dame because she truly is the most beautiful, humble, talented woman, and opening and welcoming. And so is Lisa Gagan and Moya Brady. I mean, that there were some incredible actors on that, and the main thing, like I said before, is the people that came in for the one episodes. You won't believe the people. I'm sure it was a great privilege to have those people coming in, and sometimes it was their first jobs. And they, and you go, wow, these are incredibly talented young people, and it was a great. That's what's missing now. I think doctors do it a bit, but the fact that you could come in and play these incredible roles, as your first job,
Yeah, of
at a
course.
drama school or whatever when you were inexperienced, because I think now that you're not given the chance to do that, and the bill really did embrace that,
Definitely. Yeah.
and it's
Okay.
missed. It's really missed still.
Well, I do have a question about that later, about the possibility, because it's actually really, really strange, because a couple of days after I'd asked you, oh, can you do the interview? Then a couple of days later, I read in the newspapers that the bill was coming back. But then I saw Mark Wingett's tweet, and he basically said that it is in discussions, but nothing's been finalised yet. So it's still, there's a question mark over whether it's coming back, isn't there?
I'm not sure. And then I was really upset, and a lot of people were upset that they did cut it, because it
I was.
actually, and I think the audience were, it really went across the demographic, because it was something, it seemed, that people watched with their kids, but not just young kids, but teenage kids, and their grandparents. So it ticked every box, really. So it was really, I thought, remiss. I don't know, because it was replaced by a reality TV thing, and
which is, I'm not criticising, but it was like, oh no, not the
it was a
bill.
waste, really. It was a waste, because it was really, as I say, it was a drama in that. To be honest, I didn't like it when it was moved to 9 o'clock. I don't know about, but it wasn't.
Yeah, I thought it was. That's taken away the family element, because obviously if it's going to be on after the watershed, then youngsters aren't.
Yeah, and then you are competing against the big budget dramas.
Yeah.
At that time, and not that it wasn't didn't put any money in it. They did, but it wasn't. It was more like a soap, as in there was quite a lot of filming to be done, so it could not compete with that. So the 8 o'clock slot for me was perfect, really.
Oh yeah. And viewing habits were different back then, because I was thinking, when you were during your time in the bill, it was a few years before social media. Of course, nowadays, I very rarely watch live TV. I don't know about yourself, but I stream a lot of things, or I'll have box sets and stuff. Whereas back in those days, Wednesdays and Thursdays at 8 o'clock p.m. was a ritual. It was the bill.
Yeah, and like the soaps as well, weren't you? I remember the music, definitely Corrie, 7:30, you're there.
Oh, yes, yeah.
Not
quite the same anymore, is it?
No, it doesn't seem to be, does it?
No.
Don't know what will happen, do you?
No, but I do hope the bill, I am keeping my fingers crossed. I do like the idea of the bill coming back.
Yes, because as I say, it did appeal to lots of ages.
Because I used to watch it from when I was a little kid as well, back in the 80s, when they used to do half-hour episodes.
Yeah.
You remember that? Yeah.
Yeah. No, I started when it's half hour, and then it went to an hour. Then it went to 9 o'clock. So.
Oh yeah, that was in the later years, and I think that was possibly the death knell of it or something. I don't know whether that was what kind of caused it to.
I don't know. Who knows? But I think it was a difficult slot, that 9 o'clock.
Yeah, and I think it was the wrong decision personally. I think a lot of people do. So fingers crossed on it returning.
Oh, fingers crossed, yeah, because it's there's still a lot of fans out there.
Oh, definitely. I mean, I watch the reruns now. Like I've watched all your episodes recently, and I'm amazed how, obviously, apart from the hairstyles and the fashions and stuff, which was nearly 20 years ago, apart from that, it could honestly have been filmed like a couple of weeks ago. That's how well it holds up. It's very fast paced, and the camera angles. Yeah, was it single camera that you were filming with?
It was single camera, unless it was sort of action shots. But I mean, it was, and actually very good for the police, because they got a lot of people applying.
Really?
Because
I wonder if anybody was applying because they'd seen you and wanted to follow in your Cathy Bradford.
Well, sure, not on my boss, but I mean, and anything like that, teachers, things like that, programs about that, actually, civil servants, then you'd think.
Yeah.
Anyway, so let's hope. Let's hope it comes back. I'd be really keen, because I'm sure Cathy is allowed out now.
Do you know what? I was going to ask you, what do you think Cathy's now? Do you think finally, after like nearly 20 years, she might have just got better?
She would have come out by now. I think she's just any day now.
Any day now, yeah.
Any
Oh, of
day
course,
now.
because she went into the men. I suppose, yes, she would have been sent down for the murder, of course. She did
No, I
2
think
murders.
she was sectioned.
Yeah. Oh, well, I've still got some questions of the bill, sorry, if that's okay, because honestly, when I started writing these questions, I just started thinking about 100 different questions. They go, oh, and there's that, and there's that. Yeah, I just thought, narrow it down a bit. So, oh, yeah, because I just wanted to ask you a bit about, because I'm doing this thing on Brookside, trying to get it rerun, you see. So I love, were you a fan of Brookside?
Yes, I was. More Corrie, really. I was a bit,
Yes.
I don't know, I'm 51, so I don't know. I was sort of, it was more, you were either, Brookside, I mean, I don't know, but more Corrie, really.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I love Corrie.
Yeah. But Brookie, well, you're looking back at it, and those actors, and the writing.
Oh, yeah.
Incredible.
I mean, in the early days, it was very sort of had a lot of social and political commentary running through it. So, well, then obviously you would have known Paul Usher as Barry Grant then, because that's who I loved him as. But in your early episodes, you were not paired romantically, but Cathy worked with Des Taverner, and they clashed quite a bit. So I just wondered how Paul was to work with, and did you enjoy those scenes? Because they were quite, I think he was trying to sort of said, oh, do you want to find out? He was trying to come on to her slightly, and she wasn't interested.
Oh God, I can't remember. No, great, 'cause he's a great actor, Paul. He's sort of yeah. So, God, it's a long time ago.
No, I can imagine. I just thought to myself, all I kept thinking.
No, but I really respect him as an actor. Yeah, he was a great actor. So,
I just thought Cathy Bradford and Des Taverner turning up on your doorstep. You've called the police, and then those two turn up on your doorstep.
Yeah, you'd run a mile, wouldn't you?
Yeah, it's a stuff of nightmares. But to be honest, in those scenes where Cathy was working with him, it was actually Cathy that was the sensible one, and she was trying to pull him back because he was quite, free with his fists and stuff like that. He went against the rules a lot, didn't they? So I reckon those two wouldn't have got on well. They were too similar slightly. He was borderline psychotic, I think.
Yes,
Character.
I think so. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, they would have. Yeah, they wouldn't have lasted a week, would they? In the same room, they would have killed each other. Yeah.
Yeah, they probably would have done.
Yeah.
Because up to the point, just before Cathy became obsessed with Brandon, she'd always seemed quite conscientious in her work for her own personal gain, I imagine. But we'd seen signs of her being really malicious and gossipy before any of the murders took place, like telling PC Kerry Young's fiance about a short-lived affair with Nick Klein. I don't know if you remember that, but I'm sure you remember this part. She was a compulsive liar. And for attention, lied about being pregnant and having a miscarriage, then about having HIV, and this was all from the psychological disorder we were talking about. So I imagine, it's an obvious question, you'd have had to undertake quite a bit of research on that.
Yeah, I did actually. Yeah. As I say, it's the same with Corrie. I'm sure we're going on to very different disorders. So, yeah, you have a responsibility of care really to people who, and so it was, as in dramas, it was taken, a bit too, to extremes, especially with Cathy. But yes, it was fascinating that it was all based in a need for attention, really. So she felt, so it was all attention-seeking behaviour. It's very sad, really. So you've got to sort of, so I tried to love her.
What they say as an actor, you've got to find, even if it's a murder or something, you've got to find something in the character. Because I used to go to drama classes and stuff, and the drama teacher used to say, you've got to find something in that character that you love. Would you agree with that?
Oh, well, you think you're doing right. I mean, Hitler thought he was doing right.
Yes. And in Cathy's mind, I think she thought she was doing the right thing, didn't she? Sometimes.
Yeah, no, I don't think she'd do anything malicious. She's certainly not evil, but, it's not...
she did evil things, but I didn't believe she was totally evil.
Yeah, it came from a place of pain, I think, and sort of attention-seeking and panic towards the end.
Oh, well, I love those final scenes and stuff. Yes, because it got really intense, because obviously... I just thought it was after the point that she'd murdered Brandon's ex-wife, that her work also started to slip down as well.
We did a fantastic episode, and it was really quite daring I think Paul did it. And but about the first 20, 25 minutes, there was no dialogue. I don't remember if I'd lost my keys in the car park.
Yes. Oh, I got
After
that on those specials I did. Yeah, it was brilliant.
It was, and to be honest, and I think the bill was the first live episode as well. So they did.
Oh, I've got a question about that as well, because that must have been an adrenaline.
Oh
really.
my God, I think so. They did some quite formative sort of stuff, and I remember getting the script and going, "Oh, there's no dialogue, and it was into, and I think it was about a good quarter hour, 20 minutes of. So what a brilliant opportunity. I don't know if you get that now.
No, I was
you might do on a big drama, I don't know,
But when Cathy was that car park episode, after she'd murdered, you said, well, there's no dialogue for 20 minutes. Oh my God. We felt it was really, really intense. And it was almost like you were feeling what she was feeling, and you almost felt frightened for her, that you didn't want her to get caught, even though you wanted. Does that make sense? It made me feel quite nervous because she dropped the keys down, and then there were people coming around. It's like, oh, is she going to get caught? It was just sort of edge of your seat drama.
Brilliantly filmed, because the crew were just, and the back and the directors were phenomenal on it. They really were.
From watching that, actually.
Yeah, the top of the game, and for producers, and it was all yeah, huge privilege. But I mean, to film something like that and make it exciting on the time constraints that you have on the bill, as in similar to a soap, very fast. So actually, to get that quality of intent, like you're saying, it was really intense, and it was for no dialogue and dangerous. It was quite a privilege and unusual. So I didn't really realise, because how unusual that is.
Well, I just have to say, because there was a friend of mine, because those episodes that you were in kind of took me back to where I was living at the time. Those big episodes, like when you killed Brandon's wife, I kept thinking, oh, I was in that flat then. And I remember going to work the next day and talking about it with my friend. And we used to have discussions, serious discussions about Cathy Bradford. And so do you think, and we used to feel sorry for her sometimes, then the next time it'd be like, oh, no, she's horrible, she's evil. Because she was constantly changing. So I think,
yes,
yeah. And I think there's part of us that
I thank God that social media was not around then, because
yeah. Well, of course, there are people that confuse fiction with reality. I've got to say to you, it will make you laugh. Somebody had put on Facebook, I don't know, I hope they're not watching, I'm only joking, but it did make me laugh, because I said, oh, I've got to watch the interview tonight with yourself to see if she's anything like she is in the bill. And I said, well, I don't think she is. And for one, I don't mean to be personal, she's married with 2 teenage sons, and that's as far removed from Cathy as you can possibly get. So
I once, when I was doing the bill, I once walked in, I was on holiday in Spain, and I walked in the sea, and I could hear these women behind me. Oh, look, that's her from there. That's her from there. Oh yeah, and oh, you can tell she's horrible. Look at her face.
Oh. And how did you react to that? Did you turn around, or did you just sort of feel embarrassed?
Oh, to my shame, Ian. I started smiling, thinking, oh, I'm not like.
No, I'm just an actress, really.
Just like, what should have said was, exactly. But I mean, yes, and I went to get some shoes once, and this woman I said, can I have some shoes? And she just looked at me and screamed and never came back.
Oh, you're joking. That's just.
Yeah. So
how bizarre is that, though? Was this during your time on the bill?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was obviously okay.
So but that, I could hear it, oh, look, you can see, yeah, she has got a horrible face.
Charming. But did you actually have anybody come up to you, a fan or something, and just say, oh, I'm really enjoying your story in the bill itself? Any normal people?
Oh, mainly I'm being naughty, because people always, I've been very lucky in my career that people have been so lovely, and genuine, and as I say, with what I used to love with the bill was people coming up saying, I'll watch it with my son or my daughter, and they love it too. And now recently I've met those sons and daughters that have grown up and gone, oh my, you know. But so I can't. I mean, they're very few and far between, the you know, the naughty times, but people have been so supportive and lovely usually in my career, which I'm very lucky about.
Oh, that's good. That's good. And so it should be, because you're acting, for goodness sake.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, but there are people that seem to, I get it with the Brookside fans, sometimes they talk about certain stories as though it was all real, and I'm like, oh, it's only acting.
Yeah. Yeah.
You don't know really what to say, do you?
Yeah, I know.
Excuse me. It's all right. I've written them down. I think I was just about to ask that question, actually, so we can go off that. It was about if people were frightened of you, which you've just answered.
Yeah.
So, you've just mentioned her. I like the actress Moya Brady, who played Robbie Cryer. Just on the side note, I spoke to her last week. She actually told me that Connie Hyde is my favourite actress. Yeah, she did, honestly. And I've asked her to do an interview. She said she's quite shy at being interviewed, but she said to let me know how this interview goes. So I'll send her the video and see if she'll come on. I'd love her to come on.
Oh, she is beautiful, and she is my favourite actress as well. So you can back at her. She's absolutely. If I was a director or a producer, I would want her in everything I'm in.
Yeah,
you know, I've got her and another friend of mine who I just go, God, if I was in a film, I'd want her in it.
yeah.
I know, I think but you know what I mean? It's one of those actors you go to make it interesting, you know.
Because she wanted to help Cathy, didn't she, the character?
She what?
Sorry, she wanted to help Cathy, the character, didn't she?
Oh, she did, actually, yeah. Yeah, she did to begin with, but they're some of my favourite scenes. She's so tiny, Moya, that I could literally lift her up against the wall and slap her.
Yes, I put that scene on Twitter the other day, and I thought to myself, oh, Connie must be a lot taller, because, yeah, you did pick her up and then literally threw her onto the ground.
Oh, so just 2 seconds. What do you want, love? Yeah, of course you can, darling. Sorry, my son's asking to go for a run.
Oh, of course.
First time. Oh, of course, yeah. Yeah.
What have you
and I said she's a great friend still, Moya.
Oh,
so we still see each other, yeah.
I really would like to get her on. So fingers crossed, because I thought she did some really good scenes with you. So that's why I wanted to mention.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Did you see it? What was it? Years and Years she was on recently. She did. I mean, that's what I mean. She does. Sometimes she'll do little cameos and she steals the whole episode.
Yeah. And she was quite funny
one of
as
those
well.
actors.
I thought she was quite a funny character. She was quite funny as well, the character Robbie Cryer. Yeah. So, well, I could never forgive Cathy for getting Robbie the sack, of course, because it was a great scene between you both where you admitted to Moya's character that, I don't know if you remember, that you had killed Brandon's wife, and it was lucky. She should be grateful that her job she'd lost. Do you remember that?
No, but I can.
She admitted to all her wrongdoings, and then
Yes. Oh yeah, she was onto her.
Yeah. See, I'm talking to you about this. I've seen it all very recently.
Yeah. Will you be my agent, Ian?
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. I'll be your agent. Well, I'm doing, because I did your specials, didn't I? But just before I asked you to be interviewed, I'm doing a similar one for Paul Usher as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like the Des Tavern story. Because I love all the bad cops. Actually, Cathy, I thought she was the only bad female cop that went in Sunhill. I know, well, there's no psycho cop in Sunhill anyway, female cop.
Do you know, and that is rarely done, you know. I kept saying, you know, I think they need to pop up another one at some point. Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely. You know, because female aggression is not really
explored
as much as male. And yes.
Well, that's what I always thought was interesting, because we'd had Don Beach and Burnside and bad male officers before, so it was quite a difference to have a bad lady in the cast anyway. So that was different. Okay. Birds of a feather connection here, because David Cardy played Max, didn't he? He played the original Chris in Birds of a Feather. And the reason I'm mentioning the programme is Linda Robson was also a guest star in one episode which involved your character and Polly. And I imagine Linda was fun to work with, if you can remember.
Yes, and I think Lisa knew her from way back when. Because
Oh,
Lisa did
right.
a lot of work, actually, you know, and I think they were they'd crossed paths quite a lot. So, oh yeah, that's what I mean. You used to get these people coming in, doing one episode, to go, oh my God, what a incredible, you know, these incredible actors, because people were very willing to do it because they were great parts.
Mm. Oh, well, they always were,
weren't they? You know, you weren't coming in doing 3 lines. You know, they were lovely, meaty parts, and actually, they were. Although you know, obviously, the regular cast were there, but it was the guests that had the storylines.
Yes, of course.
Very
And Linda had a good part in that.
yeah, very
Very
definitely.
hard-faced character she played.
Yeah. So very definitely it was worth doing.
Yeah.
You know, and lovely. I mean, George Costigan played her, was in it, playing a transsexual, you know, at the time. I think Lily Savage did it before, and he took over the role. And you know, I think so. You got these incredible, you know, this incredible energy coming in. Every episode. So no, it's
and it was something different every episode, I think, as well.
Yeah, it was magical, actually. It was and rare. I can't think of anything else that you get that sort of turnaround.
Yeah, because I like the balance of it. You know, you had your police stories, normal police stories, and then you had, you know, you'd sometimes delve into the officers' private lives as well, which I really enjoyed, like Cathy, obviously, and lots of the police officers were having affairs with each other at the time and stuff. And
but I think it was character based, you know, and those great guest roles. Doctors do it as well, you know.
Which I know that you've been in quite a few times.
I've been a few times, actually. I can't remember how many, but yeah, it was lovely. So again, you know, when you go into it, you have a lovely storyline, you know. So that's sort of taken over the sort of new, you know, everyone said, you know, and it used to be a bit of a joke. Oh, everyone's been in the Bill, and think, well, yeah, great employer.
That looks terrific on your CV if you've been in the Bill.
What a great employer of actors, you know, young actors and old actors and things like that. So great accolade, really.
Absolutely. Okay, there's only a few more questions about the Bill. As I said, I just didn't know where to stop, really. Oh, yes, this is quite an interesting one, because you were in the cast when we were talking earlier, when the Bill celebrated its 20th anniversary, which was marked by a live episode, which I think you all did brilliantly. And I do remember the Bill, that was a really good episode. Your part was quite physical in that, if you remember. So did you embrace the experience? Were you petrified, or a bit of both?
I think I had the first line.
You did.
I did have the first line. And there was a car crash before, or there was a big sequence before, if I remember. And so I think I don't even know if I got it out. I think I shouted it and I just went, because it was so timed. I remember, yes, we were terrified. All of us were terrified.
Oh, were you really? Yeah.
Yes, because it was so new, and
it had to be tight, and there was no retakes. You had to get it right.
And it wasn't a gentle sort of, like, you know, you and me chatting now. I think it was a car crash or something like that, and then they went 3, 2, 1, you.
Oh my God.
But yeah, fantastic again, and quite revolutionary, really.
Oh, it was. But Kieran Griffiths, I think he was the one, I don't know if you remember, but at the end of the episode, he had to fall off a high building onto a car. And I thought, that's got to be the end of him. But luckily, in the next episode, he was all right, because I had a bit of a soft spot for him. He was quite funny.
Brilliant actor, isn't he?
Yeah.
Actually, the Cold Feet I did, Kieran was in.
Yeah, I thought I saw his name in the cast at the same time.
Yeah, same episode. He is a brilliant actor.
Yeah.
I think that was one of his first jobs, actually, the Bill. And I thought, what a great thing, because he's learning on camera all the time. What a great, I mean, better than any drama school or anything, isn't it? Working on the job, working like that. Very talented theatre actor as well.
There was just one thing I was just going to ask about the live episode, which puzzled me. I can imagine it must have been confusing, because how in advance did you film the episodes? Was it 6 weeks, 8 weeks?
You got me there, Ian. No idea.
Because obviously I was thinking, well, you'd have had to learn all these scripts a month in advance, and then you'd have had to go back on yourself and then film that live episode. Do you get what I mean? I bet you can't remember now.
Can't remember. No.
No,
can't remember.
That was just something that came to me. I just thought that must have been really confusing, but it was a great. I loved that live episode. It was really good, and it all went off without a hitch in the end, didn't it? I thought so.
I'm
Anyway,
sure there were a few. Yeah.
The only one I did, the only thing I really picked up on, but you've got to take it with a pinch of salt. For God's sake, it was good. When Kieran Griffiths fell onto the car, when he sort of looked back up at the camera and he had his nose was all blooded and stuff, you could see that the car was inflatable slightly. You saw it move slightly, and everybody picked up on that. And I thought, yeah, well, you can't expect the poor bloke to really fall off the building and fall onto a car, can you? So,
what if you would have done, Kieran? No, I can't remember that. No.
But I thought it gave it an air of excitement, knowing, this is all actually happening right here and right now while we're watching. So I remember talking about that at work the next day. Yeah. Oh, let me just have a sip of what is me yapping so much. Excuse me. Right, okay. Because a good part of the plot was when Cathy started working with Polly Page, played by Lisa Jegan. Is that the right way of pronouncing it?
Jegan, yeah.
Yeah, sorry. And I just knew it was going to spell trouble for Polly as time went on, because Polly committed euthanasia on a dying man she'd become close to, which, thanks to Cathy, ended up with Polly lying to the police, and Polly ended up going to prison, charged with murder. Cathy was called upon to appear on the Lorraine Kelly show, which I imagine must have been surreal, because for us, for the viewers, seeing Cathy talk to Lorraine Kelly, it heightened the reality, but I imagine it must have been really surreal at the same time.
That was really surreal.
Yeah.
That was, and Lorraine was quite nervous actually, and I was quite, it was a very odd, I think a little bit, because she's so brilliant, isn't she? And like sort of not a, but I think she did say, it's a bit different for her as well,
Yeah.
That's what I mean. She did had the most fantastic. You imagine opening the script and seeing that, she was on the Lorraine show. You go, what?
Yeah.
So
So that was fun. Well, I'm just going to, because this is about a page long now, so I just want to remind viewers of your story. This is leading up to your final parts now on the bill. So this is just to sort of give you a brief outline of the story. Because another unexpected twist of the plot was Cathy ended up engaged to Polly's former fiance, Max. Then she went to court, blatantly lied about Polly to cover up her involvement. She'd encouraged Polly to go to the police in the first place. Then as time went on, it became clear that Cathy really wasn't in love with Max, Polly's ex. And one day he tried to force himself on her. I was quite shocked at that scene. I didn't expect that, which led to her basically bashing his head in with an asp, as you do. And by this point, Cathy had been demoted from CSU and was put back into uniform. But her real undoing was when she set fire to Brandon's house. I bet this is all coming back, as she'd become jealous of his relationship with Honey. She then offered Brandon and the kids to stay with her, but then Brandon, who was played by Pal Aaron, discovered the CCTV videotape of Cathy in the car park the day that his wife was murdered. And it eventually led to their final showdown, where she kidnapped his kids, held them hostage in the Sun Hill boiler room before exchanging the kids for Brandon. I mean, these are brilliant, harrowing, powerful scenes. And I love that whole episode, which was devoted to Cathy. Were you happy with the conclusion of the story? And how long were you filming that? Because you must have had pages and pages of dialogue for that big final episode.
Again, I mean, the last episode was almost a two-hander.
Yeah.
Between me and Pal, which is unheard of, really. I mean, if you hear that, it's about an hour long of two-hander. You go, that's almost like a play, It's sort of. Yeah.
I thought it was interesting because you didn't find out about Cathy's childhood and what had sort of led up to all this. You found out that Cathy had lied in her childhood about she'd said she'd been abducted, or she'd reported being abducted, and it turned out to be a lie, didn't it? Can you
Yeah, I mean,
remember that?
there is lots to come. I was glad they didn't kill her off, to be honest.
Yes. So was I. So was I.
Yeah, because I thought there were a lot of unanswered questions. So and it would have been quite easy, and a lot of people, I'm sure, at the time were going, "Go, just kill her," because it had gone off,
No,
But
no.
I'm glad they didn't, because if it ever does, if there is a life in it, that would be good to know where that came from.
Definitely. And had you decided to leave? Because I'm sure I read that you decided to leave, that you felt that Cathy has to get her comeuppance at some time.
Well, I knew that would happen, because you can't be a police officer and sort of kill people.
Yeah.
So I knew there was a finite time, but it was more a personal thing, because I tried to have kids, and I'd had IVF during the bill, and basically I was told, if you don't leave work, it won't work.
Oh, I see.
So I did, and it did. I was luckily the next IVF I had worked. So it was right, really, to say that. But it was a difficult choice, because you sort of, well, it wasn't me. I knew that it would come to the end, but I did have to say, look, this is what I want to do, and there's no guarantees, is there? But I got my beautiful boy.
Yes. Yeah.
So
has he seen? I know that you showed him the clip of your first scene the other day. I mean, have any of your boys seen clips of the bill?
No, I just showed him that the other day. Never really,
Were they impressed?
Yeah, they were impressed with that. I mean, I was great. Ian, I've never, I would actually got a bit of kudos for 5 minutes.
So there
2
you
minutes,
go.
maybe. But I mean, it was, they were going, oh, did you have that? And I went, yeah. That's what I used to do.
But can you imagine? Yeah, just all in a day's work for you. But can you imagine having kids, and then having to take your kids to school, and you were playing Cathy at the same time? Can you imagine, like, all the parents and the kids? Oh my God, it's her from the bill. Can you imagine that?
I know. Can I take your kid home to play?
Yeah. Oh yes, because that was quite funny. But
yeah.
I was just remembering, actually, because the very last scene that we saw you in, it wasn't actually it wasn't that, even though we saw her get sectioned, taken away in section, 3 months later you returned for a scene with Polly. She was coming to see you for her closure. Can you remember that?
Yes, I can, yes.
Because I got very excited that you were coming back, and then somebody, obviously, I can't believe I didn't even think of this. They said, yeah, but Ian, they're not going to let her back in the police force after 3 months. I was thinking, oh, she might come back. She's better now. And that's just not going to happen, is it?
No, but they did, weirdly enough, talk. There was talk about them going back and seeing her and getting her advice for a case.
Really?
Yes, and I think it was scrapped. The bill was scrapped, but there was a sort of spin-off sort of thing that a bit like Silence of the Lambs, where they go and see her. Yeah. And ask her for so they did actually, did look into carrying on the story. But yeah,
you felt like it had come to its natural conclusion.
No, I think it did. The bill stopped, so that's yeah, go on, let's hope it happens again.
Well, I was going to say that's the last question on the bill, because we've got some couple of questions on Corrie. So I do hope I'm not keeping you too long. It's been an hour and 10 minutes now, so I'm too sorry. I did say I had so many questions because you're in.
I go off on sidelines. It's me chatting away.
No, don't worry. Because I was just going to ask I'm sure everybody wants to know this. If the bill returned and they came knocking at your door, would you go back?
I'd absolutely love to, because I think there's lots more that I'd like to explore with her.
Yeah. Oh, that would be brilliant. What if they asked you for a different part? Although I don't know if that would, I don't know.
I don't know if they would, really. I think you just sort of synonymous with...
Everybody knows you as Cathy, so you'd have to come back as Cathy. Yeah.
Like,
what if the producers are watching? Please bring her back.
Yes.
I would love to know what Cathy Bradford's up to after all these years. Like you said, she'd be about to come out now, wouldn't she?
Oh, she would.
She'd still be harbouring all those grudges to Brandon and stuff, or do you think she'd be cured by now? I felt like there
No,
was
but
a lot of hope.
there'd definitely be a change, a big change, I think,
Mm.
which would be interesting to find out what sort of, yeah.
Cathy Bradford
Uh,
Part 2. I hope that happens, you know. Watch the
mm,
Space Files. That would be brilliant, though. That really would.
yeah, yeah.
Well, I've just got to say, because after the bill, obviously you had more TV roles, including as another police officer, DCI Jane Chambers in the TV movie The Commander, Christine in Distant Shores, Wendy in Casualty, Linda in Heartless, Karen Vernon in New Tricks, Linda in Lost Christmas, Maggie in Secrets and Words. It sounds like I'm doing This Is Your Life, doesn't it? And then there was Mr. Selfridge, Shameless, Common, Doctors, which we talk about. You did quite a few different roles in that. Waterloo Road, Family Reunion, the Ever So Subtle, which I saw the other day, the Ever So Subtle Deanne Sutcliffe in one of my favourite series, Cold Feet. I thought, oh, that's so subtle.
Yeah.
Before, yeah, before playing Sally's troublemaking sister, Gina Seddon in Coronation Street for an eventful 2 years, because Gina was another very complicated and interesting part who had bipolar. So what was it like working on Britain's longest running top soap?
Oh, well, there you go. That what I think if you're a Northern actor, it's your, it's on your wish list, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I've been up for it. And actually, weirdly enough, I don't think many people know that a lot of people in Corrie have been up for it over the years a few times. So you sort of, and at the time, obviously, when you don't get it, you're like, oh, wish I'd got out of it.
Yeah.
But everyone who has got it, the part they do get eventually is the fit for them.
Yeah.
So they're very good on remembering you and going, oh, I like you. I sort of, I think I went up for Michelle Collins's part.
Oh,
and I think they said, you're not right for this, but, sort of,
keep your mind.
and you hear at the time, you kind of go, oh, because to be honest, regulars are few and far between, especially women, older women.
Yeah, of course.
Although it is one of the best programs for representation of that matriarchal, it's known for
Strong
that.
women. I like
strong,
the strong women in
yeah, strong women. But it is right after 50. It's called a graveyard slot. 50 to 70 as an actress. There aren't many parts. So
I think that should change. I think it's wrong. I do agree with that.
I do. And I mean, you look at something like Corrie, and they're just it's wonderful. That's a wonderful time of life for most women. Interesting, So anyway, it's slowly, hopefully, changing a little bit, but it's anyway. Corrie does it very well. So a lot of people in it have been up for it a few times, as I said. So when you do get it, and going, oh, wow, and not only to be in it, but to be Sally's sister.
Yes.
I cannot tell you how beautiful that woman is.
Sally Deneville.
Divener.
That's it. Because she used to be Sally Whittaker, you see, so that's why I get confused.
Yeah. No, yes. But that's actually, she's Sally Webster now, and Sally, yeah. So Divener, and then in real life, Sally Divener. An absolute, and she's been, I can't remember how long she's been in it, about 30 years, so.
Yeah, even longer. I think she came into it. I remember watching her scenes like when I was a little kid, her and Kevin, when Hilda Ogden was in it. So it must have been like before,
and
yeah.
I remember watching her episode, and I was quite little. I don't know, how old are you, Ian?
I'm 41.
Oh, you're a lot younger than me then. So I remember
I just look old, that's all.
I remember watching her first episode of my granddad, and she had like a black bin liner on. She was a punk or something, Sally. And we're thinking, oh, that's exciting. That's an exciting character, but not being able to say anything because it was a bit sort of,
yeah. She's quite forward and very brassy in the childhood, in her younger days. Sally.
Oh, she was really mouthy, and we tried to remember that because the Seddon sisters were rough. They came from the gutter.
You could tell she did come from a rough background, so that's why she seemed a bit pretentious, slightly. But
yes,
nice.
Exactly. So that was wonderful when I came into it, because I keep reminding her, I know where you're from. And it was lovely because she was so sort of, delusions of grandeur and things like that. And it was nice to sort of, I'd have the odd line going up. what you're on about? I remember when you
Bring her back down to earth.
Yeah. So that was, and it needed, we used to try and get more of that in. That, the Seven Sisters were quite notorious at the time of being quite, and of course, Gina hadn't really changed or hadn't really, climbed the social ladder like Sally, or Sally thought she did, Yeah,
Do you think Gina was a little bit jealous of her or envious? Because I remember that's why she wanted to get with Tim. She'd said that one of the scenes that she was, Sally had always been the favourite. Sally had always been loved and had friendships and, successful marriages and stuff. And there was a part of Gina that I felt sorry for, even though she did some terrible things. I felt there were parts of it.
I thought she was really sad. She was really very
hadn't
sad.
had much love.
I mean, very different from Cathy. She didn't. I don't think really she had a bad bone about her. Really, I mean, I know
that's what I thought. Even though she was doing wrong things, I just thought, I don't believe she's bad.
No, she wasn't bad herself. She did bad things, but she wasn't bad herself. She just didn't think the consequences through. And I think when I saw that, when she was trying to come on to Tim, and actually she was blamed a lot because women are, but it was actually Tim that kissed her, and that came on to begin with, and that was sort of forgotten. And it's sort of like, no, she actually tried to resist that quite a lot, but was a very lonely woman.
Yeah.
So I did. I tried to play that against that every time I saw it. Really, I didn't want to demonize her at all, because I didn't think that's what she was.
No, I don't. No. And I mean, I imagine that you'd have had to have done, like Cathy, some research on having bipolar and stuff as well.
Yeah, I talked to the Bipolar Society when I first joined, and also a wonderful woman who I won't say her name, that helped me all the way through, really. And it's interesting, that energy, sometimes people can go, oh, it's a bit too much, sort of, but actually, yes, someone who suffers from bipolar would absolutely say, yes, absolutely, it is that people kind of go like that away, and that's what alienates sometimes.
Yeah.
And it's too, they feel alienated by society because of the reaction they get. So very much so. It was
because it's promoting understanding, wasn't it, as well, I think. Do you think it was promoting understanding of bipolar a little bit, or?
Yes, I think so. I didn't like the story with Tim.
Oh, didn't you?
Would do it, I mean, it's sort of I mean, you always get these Christmas storylines or whatever, And
it was the big Christmas Day episode, wasn't it, a few years ago?
Episodes, yeah.
I did enjoy.
And I think, I wouldn't have said, me and Sally didn't like it because we didn't, we were so close, sort of thinking, that would have been sorted out, but it didn't. Anyway.
Well, I can remember a scene where Sally was attacking you with a full sale sign or something, and
that's wonderful. I mean, that's what those scraps were brilliant, and
I thought they were really comical, and it was good to see comedy again. Yeah,
great comedy, and that's what we loved, those scenes when we were scrapping, because it was right back to when we were kids. When you're going back to kids, and she forgot all her posh ways.
I like seeing her roots, like you've just said. I like seeing that's the real Sally. That's the she's letting the mask slip slightly there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, I gather that you're friends with Sally in real life, aren't you?
Oh yeah. She'll always be in my life.
So that's great that you've kept in touch with all the cast and stuff. I mean, how did you feel on that first day? Was it really? I imagine, because as we said before, it must have been really daunting.
Well, it is daunting when you get someone like Sally and Jimmy Harkishan, and they want to. I mean, it's absolutely. I sort of said to Sally, "Would you mind if we run through it?" Sally, Jimmy, everyone wants to rehearse it. That absolutely 30 years later, still as passionate, I imagine, from when they started. The proper actors, they're absolutely work hard and they're passionate about what they do, and play, and it's always, so it didn't seem like that, because it was just sort of almost because you're so humble as well, Sally, you know, there's no sort of hierarchy or because people haven't got to, and actually that's the same on the bill. There wasn't any sort of egos really, because you haven't got time. You just have to get on with it. You know,
You've got to work
gotta
hard.
get,
I mean, what was
yeah.
the difference between the bill and Corrie? The schedules was, I mean, I imagine Corrie was a lot more fast paced with its going out. And I think it's
Weirdly enough, it was the same scheduler.
oh really?
From the bill. Yeah, I came on the job and I went, oh my God, well, that makes sense, because you'd have to have a mind of, and how those people sleep. I have no idea, because you got, you know, especially on the bill, we had 4 buses going off at one time. But on Corrie as well, you've got this person going there, and, you know, the crossover. I don't know how they sleep. It must be the hardest job on it.
Definitely.
So the schedules are like that. I can't remember what question it was.
Oh, it was basically do you know what? I've gone blank myself now. Oh no, it was the differences in schedules between the bill and Corrie, because yeah.
No, I thought it'd be quite similar, but actually it wasn't. It was faster on Corrie.
I thought so. So did you have rehearsal time? Just to go back quickly to the bill, did you have rehearsal time on the bill?
I think you were around through it before. Sometimes you don't. You know, you sort of set up for the lights and things like that. You do sort of for the crew. You always go through it once or twice, you know. But yeah, it's certainly fast.
Yeah, I can imagine. And it was breakneck speed, isn't it? Well, I mean, the bill was 2 hours a week, wasn't it? So
that was in the end, yeah. It was in the end, yeah.
But it was really good. Just on the subject of Corrie, because we are on to the last couple of questions now, because I know I've kept you for quite a long time. Looking back on your time in Corrie, what would you say were your favourite scenes? I can imagine there were quite a few.
On Corrie, probably all of them. Ones with Jimmy and the ones with Sally.
Yeah. Okay. What about the bill? Oh, go on. Sorry, carry on with the Corrie one.
No, just all this. Just you know, I loved Gina and Jimmy's character together, and we said the fight scenes with Sally, and when I used to just sort of, you know, pull her down.
Yes.
She's getting above her station, you know. So
I liked that though. I like that part. Now, of course, a lot of Corrie fans, when I was posting around the Corrie group, said, say you were coming on tonight, there were quite a few questions, so I'm going to ask it here. Very obvious question. Are you ever going to return? Because they've left the door open for you, haven't you?
Yes, very much. Yes. Yeah, they have. Very so I'm sure at some point.
We'll see you again.
Yeah. So that will be lovely. I mean, I have, as I say, I've got like 2 teenage boys now. So, and then was commuting up from London well to Manchester. So, you know, it's not in any rush, but yes, I'd love to go back if it's a good story.
Would be very interesting. Would be very interesting to see what happens next with Gina, because it was quite a tearful farewell, if I remember right. They had cleared the air, hadn't they?
Yes, they did clear the air. I'd quite like her to have a bit of success.
Yeah, it would be nice to see her. I mean, I kind of felt like that about Cathy before she murdered people.
Yes, then she ruined it for herself.
Yes, of course. But yes, she really did. She really was her own worst enemy, wasn't she? But
I quite like to see Gina coming down the road in a Hummer.
Yeah. Or riding on a Harley like you were supposed to in the lifeboat.
A pink Hummer.
Yeah. Oh, that's it. Yeah. Okay, well, these are only a few questions. It was just I wanted to pick up on something that you tweeted not so long ago, which sounded really rewarding and interesting, because you recently did an event for deaf and disabled actors. Can you just tell us a bit about that? I thought.
Yeah, well, that's Cherry Houston as well, who's gorgeous in Corrie.
Yeah.
Who's beautiful. Oh my God, there's so many if I go on and on. So Cherry Houston, who's a character in Corrie.
Yes.
You know,
Sherry Houston, did you say?
Sorry?
Sherry Houston, did you say?
Yes.
Oh, Sherry Houston. Yes. Oh, sorry. Yeah, she played Maureen, didn't she? Yeah.
Cherry Houston.
I do apologise. Sorry.
Yes, Cherry Houston.
I know you're on about that.
Harrison. But she's a wheelchair user in Corrie, and she's been in it for years. Melissa Johns as well was in Corrie, and they both with Triple C have set up incredibly this a disabled artist network community, which is very needed, and really pushing for more visibility on screen and backstage as well, writing, directing, everything like that. So and there are so many people, talented people out there who actually we've all been in isolation, but really truly isolation for a long time, you know. So the talent out there is incredible. So they've set up a disabled artist network community. So yes, I think I did a webinar or something for. Yeah,
great. And it went okay?
And it's amazing that sort of thing. Oh, let's write a play and let's get together and sort of, the creativity going on.
Yeah, which is good, and it's healthy, isn't it, as well?
Oh yeah, it's sort of, absolutely. It gets so insular, doesn't it? Mental health wise, it's all terrible.
Definitely. Okay, well, your final question, because I didn't realise I've kept you for nearly an hour and a half, so I'm very grateful, but you've got so many interesting questions to answer, you see. So I just wanted to ask finally, do you have any plans for the future? Have you got any theatre work? Or, well, I know theatre's hopefully going to reopen, because TV work or anything in the pipeline?
Not at the moment, Ian, but I have been doing over the lockdown plays with Payne's Plough, actually. Fantastic theatre to come do monologues over the phone to isolated groups. So I've really enjoyed that. So so there might be some more of that. But it's all these self-tapey things now to get a job.
Yes, I know. You're not like that.
Not really, no.
No, there was
not really technically minded. I can't wait until you can get in the room again and sort of see people and having a director and act like that. There
was a lady that was on from Brookside a couple of weeks ago, and she actually said exactly the same thing as you, because obviously in the 90s and the 80s you were waiting by the phone, weren't you?
And it's weird because I haven't got anyone to read with, so you do these scenes and you're sort of talking to yourself, and you're sort of, if you haven't got anyone in the house you can read to, it's sort of weird. So it's a very weird setup really at the moment. So let's hope we can get in the room again, I think.
Yeah, let's hope theatres reopen and everything goes back to normal slowly but surely, because I think we all could do it. Do you know what? I will really appreciate theatre, live gigs, everything like that a lot more now, because you take it for granted. You just imagine it's always going to be there, don't you?
Yeah, I know.
So I think, well, that's come to the end of it. And Connie, I hope you've had fun and enjoyed it.
Yes, lovely. And I'm sure it might be just me and you at the end. We were so long yakking.
No. I know lots of people are going to be watching, but what I shall do now is I shall obviously go and have a cup of tea and have something to eat, because I can never eat before I do these interviews.
Oh, right.
So, and then I shall put it onto YouTube and I'll send it to you. Do you want me to send it to you on Twitter? I'll tag you
Whatever,
in it.
I don't mind it. Yeah, I don't mind.
I'll tag you in it. But
yeah.
Well, hopefully we might be able to chat again, say in about another year's time. We might have another whole load of storylines for Corrie to talk about, or any other dramas. So it'd be nice to hook up again. I've really enjoyed it.
Anything can happen, and good luck with everything, and lovely to meet you, Ian.
It's lovely to meet you, Connie. I can't believe it. I've finally spoken to you. It's wonderful. So,
bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone, and thank you very much.
Bye now.
You take care, Connie. Have a lovely evening.
You too. Bye now. Okay. Keep safe,
Good night,
everyone. Bye now.
Thank you. Bye-bye, Connie. Bye-bye.